What is up, everybody? We are back with a second member of our All-Star 20, the celebrities, the KOLs, the ones you got to compete with. CryptoGorilla, Gorilla, what's going on, man?
Hey, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
I love that chest thumping. That's so
signature.
That's fucking awesome. That is awesome. All right. So for everyone who doesn't know, AceTrader100, what AceTrader is a platform where you pay a small fee, and with that fee, you go and you basically trade a book. And if we see that you are a good trader, Memeland will give you $1,000, $10,000, or $20,000 to trade on your own, where you keep the profits. That's the basic premise. Limited risk, tons of upside, great way to refine your skills. And as we launch this product, we want to start with AceTrader100, which is bringing together 100 traders, but 20 of them are KOLs, celebrities, people known for their trading skills or their lack of trading skills, but people who, people who you may have heard of. And then 80 are for everyone else to compete for. All 100 will get together, and the winner will get $1 million to trade. Okay, you don't get the $1 million to keep. The principal we keep, but you get $1 million to trade, and you keep the profits. So that's what we're talking about here. And I got Gorilla. Gorilla, what's going on, man? It's awesome to have you. What do you think when you hear about this competition?
For me, it's perfect. I'm more on the side of not the best trade. I mean, I traded in NFTs. I did very well in NFTs. When it comes to perps trading, it's been pretty hit or miss. Sometimes I feel like I'm gambling. So I like this, like the idea of the product, because I'm not putting up my own money. And if, when I win, I'll have $1 million to trade with. So for me, it's perfect. I want to do more on the education side and everything, and, try my luck in the competition.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think so many people, there aren't that many people who truly think they're good perp traders. I think everyone, because the losses stick with you pretty hard. I've talked to a few people who do, but a lot of the people are like on their X account, they're just like, by the way, I suck at trading. Would you say you're one of those people?
Yeah, I mean, I've done some good trades, and then I get overconfident, and then I just round trip and take a small loss. 10-10 really hurt bad. That was a bad day. I woke up, I had a 2-month-long Pepe along that I never thought would get liquidated. I was using cross margin, no stop loss. Like, I was greedy, max level greed, and yeah, that wrecked.
Wow, sorry to hear that. Have you been able to bounce back at all, or how did you keep it all in control? How'd you keep that all, how'd you keep it segmented so even a disaster didn't wipe you out?
I'm very this cycle, thankfully, I've been very conservative with my bags. Like, I had altcoins, I have NFTs, meme coins, but it was just a portion. Most of my funds is actually either stables, I have cash, I pay mortgage and all, or just Bitcoin. I was pretty heavy allocated to Bitcoin, which turned out to be the right move. And I'm more scared to lose money sometimes than I want to make money, which, in some situations, meme coins, it does not help. But for something like that, it was I controlled the bleeding of my portfolio, let's say.
Yeah, I think there are phases of traders' lives. I think in the beginning, it's kind of all about making money. And then if you're doing it right, you get to a place and wealth preservation becomes a priority. If you're doing, but I say if you're doing it right, because how many people have I heard of who've made $1 million and gone back to zero? So it's not everybody who's exercising that. But one thing you told me when we were talking is that, you were in debt, $10,000 in debt just a few years, 5 years ago. And then through the crypto cycle and through your creator journey, you've really built a career that has been lucrative and sustainable. Why don't you talk a little bit about kind of what got you here?
Sure. So I went to university. I did the whole business degree thing, the good boy job, and then I hated it. I hated my life. So I quit. I started a web agency with a few friends. A few of them quit along the way. So it was me and my business partner. And we tried multiple startups. Like, we were doing the entrepreneur life, working 7 days a week, but we weren't making a lot of money. We had a web agency. It was bringing in money, but we would put it all into the business. And then that didn't work out. We tried 3 different startups. We had the coding side. We didn't have the, networking or marketing side, which is something I figured out more in Web3 for myself. So we tried that. And yeah, I was in debt for most of that time. Thankfully, I worked at a bank before, so I had a credit line to play with. And then I had dabbled in crypto in 2017, nothing major. I did a little bit of stocks, but pure gambling. Like, I would Google what stock do I buy, and I'd buy the first one at the top of the forum, which did work out very well, thankfully. But and then COVID happened, market crashed, and I was like, y'all buy Bitcoin, it's super low. So I bought it with debt. Like, I took my credit line, I put 6K of debt into crypto, and then it worked out. That went up, and I always wanted to, my main thing is with YouTube. I've always wanted to do YouTube. I tried 4 different channels, like soft tried. I didn't go all in. And one day my friend bought SafeMoon. And I was like, dude, if you buy SafeMoon, I'm making a video on why you should not buy SafeMoon. And that was my first video. And I was like, hey, I can do this. Like my friends are always asking me, how do I buy crypto? So I started that, started just tutorials, figuring out the YouTube game. I didn't care about views. I didn't care about, you know, my camera quality or anything. And then I discovered NFTs. NFTs changed my life for the better. I understood it very quickly, and I went all in.
Yeah. So, and right now, do you see yourself as a content creator? Do you see yourself as I mean, YouTube actually isn't kind of what I associate as much with crypto as much as I associate X, but that's probably because there's a whole world I'm not familiar with. Is that your primary space to occupy, or do you see yourself more as a trader? Like,
no, I'm unfortunate. I wish I would have seen myself more as a content creator this cycle. I tried to be the trader, but I was wearing too many hats. Like I was trying to do X, YouTube. I have a Discord community. I was trying to be a trader. So I was trying to do everything. And I feel I didn't excel as much in one area as I should have. So I should have just focused either on trading or content. I do view myself more as a content creator. I love trading. I love NFTs and crypto. I fantasize about, you know, making millions of dollars trading and hitting that trade and just posting that P&L. But I view myself more as a content creator. What you said about X versus YouTube is very, very relevant this cycle. This cycle, retail didn't come. So YouTube did not perform anywhere close to what it should have. It was all about X. So it's tough to balance because the content style is completely different on both platforms.
That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, YouTube is all about, I guess, getting people who aren't really crypto native kind of curious and interested in what we're doing. And the next is a bit more insider.
Yeah.
So what would you say, you know, for this competition, 100 participants, what would you say is your what your crypto trading style, and how has your style changed from being an NFT guy to this is all about trading coins and on leverage in a lot of cases?
I guess both of them do depend on the macro and the narrative. Like, what's the sentiment? Is it going to go up or down? That's how I like to trade with the majors. You know, which way do I feel the entire market's going to move? I don't really do TA. I'm learning, but I'm not the best TA guy at the moment. But for NFTs, it's really just short-term hype. It's like, hey, is this project going to pop up or not? Oh, there's sweeps going on in this collection. Let's get in and let's get out. So it's more short-term versus leverage trading. I prefer long-term outlook. Long-term is a tough word to use in crypto, but a few weeks ideally or something, or use the Fibonacci or whatever, and you can see levels. Versus NFTs, it's pure sentiment for me. Like, hey, this collection is dope. I want to buy it. Or like, everybody's paying attention to this. Let's make the flip.
Yeah. It's so funny. Just hearing you say someone's sweeping, it like physically brought me back to the days of NFTs when we all got excited because whoever, well, you know, Gary V or G Money or whoever.
Steve Aoki's.
Yeah, Steve Aoki's buying something, whatever. Then yeah, those were the fun days, man. I'm also NFT native, you know, so I kind of think that the fun that we had in NFTs has not been replicated and to this day. But some people would argue that meme coins had that moment. It's just I just never got in.
They were the main players of the cycle. Yeah.
So how did you feel about being invited to the top to our Elite 20 as more of an NFT guy? What was your thought about being part of that core group here? We got Mando, who won the last big trading competition on there. We got Farouk. We got Zenika's going to be joining. Tyler Did It, one of my favorite content creators. Min, who's I think one of the best up and coming creators out there. ICO Beast is going to be doing this. So he works over at Couchy, so we're going to get a prediction market guy. And we got the Gorilla. What do you think being part of it?
I'm honored. I mean, I look up to all those guys. I love their content. I consume other content or watch their shows. So I'm really honored to be part of them. A part of me was a little worried, like, oh, I have to compete on a stage. You know, what if I lose money? I mean, it's not my money, but what if I'm losing in front of them? So that's the worry side. But you know, it's paper trading, so it's risk free. There's that side, and then but I'm honored to be part of them. I never felt really part of the X cabal since I came from YouTube. So I got ego a little bit. It's a little ego booster.
All right, we got a little YouTube versus X thing going on here. I kind of like that. We also got an Inter Montreal thing going on because we got Farouk and we got you. You're both from Montreal. So I'm excited to see how that plays out.
Yes, sir.
One of the other narratives I'll be watching. what do you think is different about trading kind of it's a paper portfolio. I mean, when people use AceTrader, they do have to pay money to get the portfolio. You know, it's like a $9 entry fee or a $15 or $19, depends on, or 99, depends on the amount that you end up getting. But what do you think about that model and kind of trading limited loss, but or in this case, trading a total paper portfolio in a competition format? Do you think it changes how you're going to approach it?
A little bit. I think, especially, you know, if you want to win the competition, you're willing to just go max risk, right? You're going to do a Hail Mary just to make it, versus with your actual money, you wouldn't do that. You would be more conservative. But I like, on the other side, I like that, you know, if something goes horribly wrong, if we have a 10-10, I'm not going to lose $100,000 overnight. You know, worst case, hey, I paid $9 or $99, and then I learned lessons. I'm viewing this as a way to learn, which I think a lot of people need to do. Way too many people have rushed into perps trading because of the airdrops. And now we have like 50 different platforms, and the amount of people sending me links or asking me for codes, they've never traded before. I'm just like, yo, be careful. Don't burn your money, get liquidated, burn fees, chasing this stuff. You should be learning first. Perps trading is not going anywhere. We're going to get stocks on perps. We're going to get everything up. It's here for the long run. You have 20 years to make this happen. Like, you don't have to do it today.
Yeah. And I mean, that's totally the motivation for the product is I think that I think that people need, like, want to scratch that itch of trading. And I also think you need to know that if you trade well, you're going to make money. I just think if you go onto like some random app where you can trade and it's just a video game, but there's no reward at the end, I think people don't really want to do that, and certainly not degenerates. But this kind of blends both, right? Like, you're getting the dopamine hits of trading. You are going to make money if you prove yourself a good trader. Like, you are, because you're going to get that fund at the end, and then you can make real money off of that. But your loss is limited, and you're not going to hurt your family if you don't do well. And I think you kind of get the best of all worlds, and that's kind of the motivation of the product here.
Agreed. And the membership, I view it as just as paying tuition. Like, hey, I'm paying a membership to learn something, as opposed to like paying a Netflix membership to consume. For sure.
Yeah. I mean, and that I think that was the vision when the team launched this product. What's the sentiment? You say you have a Discord, you've got like your own community. What's the general sentiment around perps trading right now? Do you think people are trading well? Any thoughts on what makes the people who trade well stand out, as far as what are they doing differently?
We're more very NFT based. There's some airdrop stuff that goes on. We're playing prediction markets. Leverage, not as much. We do have a few traders in there. We're pretty good, but not so much leverage traders. I have some friends that are really good, and you know, I'm like, yo, tell me when you long something, and I follow a few channels. But I think it's just the skill you learn over time, just practicing again and again and again.
What do you think the guys who are good? What's their edge? When you see guys who do well, what do you think the edge is that makes them unique?
I guess time. They've just been doing it for so long. They recognize. I remember at Token 2049 in Dubai, one of my friends, we were in an Uber, and he was longing something on his phone super fast. I'm like, how do you do that? And he's like, oh, I saw the chart. He recognized the pattern immediately. He longed, and he made like, I don't know, 8K in not a lot of time. So I was like, wow, I got to learn this.
One of the guys that Easy Eats Bodega is another guy who's participating, and he, I mean, I've interviewed him. When you talk to him, like, he's been trading the Solana chart so much that he just sees patterns. And it's not just within Solana, it's also like Solana versus ETH versus Bitcoin. So if like two of them are acting in a different way than the third, he sees opportunity. And the way he talks about it is just pure repetition, you know, and everyone's going to have a chance to see our video with him as well. Another great content creator who's one of the 20 in this competition. Who would you want to go against? Who do you think is like, or let's rephrase that. Who do you think is the best trader out there? Who are the guys you're like, these guys are damn good?
The best traders out there, I don't know if they'd be KOLs. It's more like people that have smaller groups that I know. I mean, you could just look on Hyperliquid and find all these guys. There's a few names on that list, I guess, are pretty good. I don't think of it necessarily perps trading. I think just trading in general. Wizard of Soho, in my opinion, is a great trader. The dude reads sentiment super well. He's well-rounded inside and outside of crypto. He'll hit on meme coins. So I like him as a trader. Yeah, I think more trader. I just think, to me, the first thing that comes to mind is meme coins. So I'm just thinking of all these meme coin guys, but I don't know how good they're at leverage trading. Cooker is great at meme coins and leverage trading. So that's another person.
I mean, these are guys also, I got to reach out to Wiz. He'd be awesome to have on the show and participating here. But 80 of the spots go to anybody, so we're going to have an initial competition where anybody can join. Top 80 get to be part of the 100. And if they win, they get the $1 million book. Any dark horses from your groups, from your Discord, anybody who we haven't heard about, but you're like, this is someone who could turn some heads here?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a few traders that I know that I'm going to be telling to participate, especially if there's a ref link, I'll be showing my ref link, but yeah, I'll definitely tell them to participate. And if they can get a $1 million fund, they'll be interested for sure.
But you got no names for us? We want some names that
I know a bunch of people. Captain better compete. I got Ming, I got Junior, I got some friends, Leonidas, Mick, a bunch of people. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're really good traders. That Captain
Ming Junior, Leonidas. These are all names that if they win, we will remember that Gorilla. Even if you don't win, you could predict who would be doing it well. Is there any one thing that you think you have that could make you stand out? Like if you win, is there some experience you have kind of in your history that you think like you'll be like, that was what helped me get there?
Nah, not for leverage trading. If I won, it's going to be because I just went max degen and the market shifted. I think some of the guys on the list definitely have more experience leverage trading than me, but I'm going to be focused on learning and education. So I'll be taking my time. And yeah, if I win, I think it'll just because I probably stayed calm and I just tried to do it slow rather than just, looking at the leaderboard and trying to beat somebody and making like a mistake.
Yeah. That one thing I should clarify about the product AceTrader is that you only get the fund if you're profitable multiple days in a row. So it is not like the system is designed. So it's not just like you go short 50x Bitcoin and then 10-10 happens. You go short much worse coins that basically went to nothing. And then 10-10 happens, and then suddenly you win and you get a $20,000 book. That's the intention is that people show skill, but which requires them to be profitable multiple days. So that's something to remember with your content that you create. That does make it a little bit different, than some of the other ways people trade. Is like the goal here, because Memeland is giving our own money to these traders, and we're saying we're going to take the risk on your skills. So the structure is designed to find people who demonstrate that skill. And then once they get that skill, we give them our money, and take us, I think it's like 80-20 where they keep 80% of the profits. Does that change your view of of the product at all?
No, I knew that going in, like you have to hit, I forget how many days it is, but you have to hit, you have to show like, hey, this isn't a one-time thing. I'm a profitable trader over multiple days or a certain period of time. I wonder how many people change their trading behavior the second they get that account, because now it's, they have an opportunity to make real money here and they have a bigger account, and then maybe they just end up blowing it because they're just like, oh, I don't need to prove multiple days anymore, and they just go all in. Yeah,
it could. I mean, the risk on the other side is if you're down a fair bit, then you lose the fund. So it's like Memeland's not going to let it go to zero. It's like if you go down quickly to 10%, it's like, okay, risk off, and stuff like that. But it should definitely be interesting. Do you think any of your YouTube followers might be interested in this competition?
100%. I'll be making I have a video coming up that I'll be doing a tutorial teaching it. I think there's definitely going to be people jumping on. I already see a lot of people tagging me on all the posts that AceTrader's doing, saying like, hey, I want to compete. So they're definitely interested.
So you're sensing interest from people here.
Definitely. Yeah.
That's awesome. And what do you think? I'm sure you get a lot of comments on YouTube and get to know your followers there as well. Is there anything kind of, for the guys who are plugged in on that side, is there anything like fundamentally different about the followers over there from the X account? Not just in terms of crypto native, but in terms of like approach to trading, how they view the world. Anything you see there?
I think the platforms in general are very different. Somebody on X is typically browsing, looking for alpha, which you'll look on YouTube for alpha too. But usually on YouTube, people are specifically looking for something. They'll search a topic. How do I do something? Versus on X, you're kind of just, free floating, going by. So on X, people are, they have something they're looking for. So when they ask me a question in the comments, unless it's like a news video, then they just comment on something. But if it's a tutorial or whatever, then they're either asking me a question or they're making a specific comment on something I said or something that happened. Versus on X, it's kind of just, wag me vibes sometimes.
For sure. Makes sense. All right. before we go, I think everyone out there has at one point thought about being a creator. What would you say are like the 3 to 5 kind of pieces of advice, unknown secrets about how to be a YouTube content creator and do it well?
So yeah, YouTube very different than X. YouTube, I'd say nobody's going to view your first videos anyways, so don't worry. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just get it out there and you're going to learn. My first video was about like I forget the project now. But my first video, you know, I started making crypto content, then I shifted over to NFTs. You discover yourself over time. So just do stuff and you'll learn what you like, what your audience likes. So really just put content out there, try to, you know, take feedback from your audience. I'd say also look what's the meta. Like if NFTs aren't meta, nobody's going to be looking for NFTs. You're not going to grow anyways. But if, you know, AceTrader is all the rage, make a video about AceTrader and people are actively searching it and you're going to come up in those results. YouTube is very search based, or, you know, you need to get good at clickbait with a good thumbnail and title, but then you need to deliver on the video. Cool.
Sorry about that noise that just came on. I actually made one YouTube video my entire life, and I was gonna like share it. And it's called "Learn to Read Korean in 5 Minutes."
Oh my goodness!
It's the only video I've ever made. It has 25 million views. Yeah, 25 million views. It went at, and I have a YouTube channel that has 50,000 followers just from that one video, and I made it in 2013 or something. You know. Yes, 2012, something like that. I've never made another one, but lightning does not strike twice. I'm pretty sure of it. So I've just kind of kept my channel. It has a banana on it.
Yeah, that is crazy. I just found it. Even if you write "learn to read Korean," it fills it in automatically in 5 minutes.
Well, there've been so many kind of like copycat videos since then. It's actually become a thing. But yeah, that's a different story. When for another conversation, we can talk about that on our next pod. One last question, final question. I love your background. I think you've done such a good job. I think like with YouTube, so much is about the camera, about the look, about the feel. What are you going for with your background? What's the artistic director's narrative there for what's going on?
This is pretty new, actually. I just moved here like 2 months ago. So I threw up a bunch of NFTs. I got the Pudgies here. I got some Artifact shoes. Lost a lot of money on Artifact. I got the Halo helmet, you know, some Yu-Gi-Oh cards. There's Pokemon cards up here. There's a Bodago skateboard. So really just representing NFTs in general. I got the Bored Ape hoodie on. I love Web3 culture. I love NFTs. So just showing what I can, but I'm going to be upgrading it over time. I need way better lighting, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of think the lighting's interesting. I think it's like a pretty cool look. Like it's dramatic and nice. Like that color is pretty unique. But that's just my take. Cool, man. Well, it's awesome to talk to an NFT guy. It's funny. The last guy, Min, who we had on the show, talked about Yu-Gi-Oh cards as well. And nice. I feel like there's a lot of kind of common threads here as far as where the culture is trending for people who are kind of in the NFT space and otherwise. So
a lot of people are getting into Pokemon One Piece cards and card collecting. It's funny. We're going a bit physical now from digital world to physical collectibles.
Exactly. I mean, full circle, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I wish we had more time because I honestly would love to. I feel like our audience would love to hear your thoughts on Pokemon cards, but we'll save that for another podcast. I'm convinced we got more up and coming. I really appreciate you coming on the show. Really appreciate you being part of the competition. And we will, we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for having me.